You're watching Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney, Southwest Florida's #1 show for smart retirement planning. He's a best-selling author, radio personality, and a fiduciary advisor you can trust. Get ready for expert insights, straight talk, and strategies to secure your future. Now, here's Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor, Eric Kearney.
Glad you've joined us again on Retirement Talk. Brad Johansson filling in with for Cynthia. Eric Kearney, thanks for the time, man. I enjoy this.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, Brad. I mean, it's always fun working with you, and I can't believe the ground that we cover every week. It's amazing how much stuff we talk about.
And yet there's still more to cover. I'm going to title this one, we got a world full of questions, and we're going to try and fill you in and answer a few of them. The place that we always want to go, and I'm going to put this up so that you can go there because it is a world of resources. It is myIncomePlan.com. And we've done some programs where we've kind of talked about the couples and coming together. So lead me through this in a spot on My Income Plan where people can go to start us off on a world full of questions.
Yeah, so this is really interesting because when we started talking about couples years and years and years ago, what we're trying to do is we see that there's a great divide when it comes to their finances. So what we want to do is we want to align couples. So if you guys pick up your smartphone, go to myIncomePlan.com. Once you get to myIncomePlan.com, you can go to Retirement Resources, and then all of a sudden you'll see the couples alignment quiz, and you can actually take that together.
Is this a scary quiz, couples alignment? I mean, I think about it.
I think it's fun because it gives you a shared vision. Don't you guys want a shared financial vision? You want to understand where your income comes from. So actually, when you do this, you can do this while you're having your coffee, and it's actually a lot of fun. So we've done this. This has become a huge download for a lot of people. And again, it's putting people into a better financial situation, which is what we want.
Well, I like that. Well, love is eternal. Well, they say love is eternal. Love does go on forever. Space is essential for a lot of couples during this. So here's my top question on a world full of questions. Yeah. Will I have enough money and patience? Patience is probably the bigger one, to spend 30 years with my spouse 24/7. Is this on your alignment quiz?
It better be, right? That's a lot of time. So we're busy with life, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm retiring. What? And I remember Art and Judy were my neighbors for 16 years, and I'd be walking out to my truck in the morning, and Art would say to me, "Hey, Eric, what am I supposed to do when I retire? I got to spend time with Judy?" Well, what he didn't know was Judy was saying the same thing to me about him. And so they have been married for a long time, but now all of a sudden you're spending all this time together. So this is actually part of the financial plan. This should be the fun part of your financial plan. Look, what are you going to do in retirement? How are you going to fill your time? So you have a physical life, you have a social life, you want to get involved in travel, hobbies. You lose a lot of the work connections. So now you got to go out and make new friends, or I'm just going to be calling Joseph every day and be like, "Hey man, I'm retired. What are you doing at work today?" You know? So we have to figure out how we're going to fill all of that time. And again, this is a goal and objective that's putting in there, but it's also trying to bring couples on the same page.
Okay. Many of you have this. I got one at home. Junk drawer in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I got good stuff in it. I'm just not quite sure where everything is and how it works. I want to relate that to what we've got financially, maybe even as couples. We got accounts all over the place.
Yeah.
What do you suggest we do?
So when you have that junk drawer, Brad, you go in there less, don't you? Because you don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. Yeah.
It's exactly right. It's the same thing when we have accounts all over the place. For me, my ADD goes crazy when I'm looking at all these different accounts. And believe me, just like that junk drawer, we are not opening those statements. We are not managing them. We are not monitoring them. We're not paying attention to them. We have all this money, but it's all out there. But it's not working for us. It's actually working against us.
Because
we're not paying attention to it. So it could be completely irrelevant. We're paying high fees. It's not being included in our financial plan. We don't know if it's taxable, non-taxable, tax deferred. So we don't know what we have. And there's a lot of times people will come in and they're like, "Eric, I have accounts all over the place. I'm so overwhelmed and I do absolutely nothing. Please, if you do anything this year, start your year off strong. Start to consolidate those and make sure that somebody is actually managing them for you, and make sure that they have a purpose to them. Open up that junk drawer and organize it. Make room for more junk.
You mentioned hidden fees, which always ticks my brain to say I've got accounts all over the place. Number one, do they know what they have? Number two, how do I know that I have hidden fees in my accounts? My advisor before this, if you're telling me I need a second opinion, has said, I'm in the most efficient stuff. How am I supposed to know whether or not I have the right stuff and whether or not I'm paying extra fees for it?
Right. And that is the biggest mysteries. People are like, I really don't know what I own. And you could have investments of $100,000. You could have investments of $5 million. You'd be surprised how little people know about their portfolios that they're investing their whole entire life savings into. So when I ask them, what are you invested in? Why are you invested in it? Or even better, how much do you know about the system that is used to choose your investments? There's a lot of times people can't answer that. So what we do, Brad, is a personal financial blueprint. So for everybody that calls in today, this is theirs. They actually leave our office with that report, and more than likely, they're going to know more about their portfolio than ever before.
Well, I leads me into the question that I was saying, what is it like to work with your firm? Putting together a blueprint, and it sounds complicated. Is putting together a blueprint for me complicated?
No, actually, you know what the funny thing is that Autumn Foster has been with me for 1,000,000 years. She started off as my assistant and has evolved into my boss. So I actually answer to her now.
Love it.
But there's a lot of times where people will come in with a whole box of statements and they're like, here you go. Now this is your problem. What we're trying to do is go through account by account, separating them and making sense of them. And then what we're doing is we're putting them through our software and creating that personal financial blueprint. So for anybody out there that is so overwhelmed about your finances, give us a call today, get your own personal financial blueprint. We do all the hard work. Once you pass the ball to us, we catch it and we run with it. We take care of you. It's the easiest part to start with any kind of retirement planning.
And when would you like to start? How about now? 800-779-1942. There may be a myriad of questions that you have. You may have a junk drawer that you're envisioning right now that you don't even want to go through. At what point do you want to have some satisfaction, some peace of mind that your retirement is going to last? You only do this once, and yet you've never done it before. Wouldn't you like some help? 800-779-1942. It's what they do. At Retirement Wealth Advisors, it is personalized. It is different than everyone else. It is just for you. Take the time now to make the call. 800-779-1942. Back right after this.
Hey everybody, we are back today with Donna Krohn, certified financial planner with Retirement Wealth Advisors, who heads up our entire financial planning department. And today, Donna, we're going to be talking about inflation. Holy cow, it's still an issue. This has played a huge role in our entire life lately. Now, inflation's always been around, but now we actually see it in our food, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, maybe even our income plans. So Donna, actually, how do we combat this?
Eric, it's important that we understand the impacts of inflation. First of all, it's nearly always present, and it needs to be accounted for over a long period of time. Inflation is also not applied evenly. For example, healthcare and education can be significantly higher than inflation we see on other goods and services. Inflation is also not just about how we spend, but it's also how we save and invest. So it allows us the opportunity to employ investment strategies that can hedge against it. So Eric, inflation is a very important ingredient in a holistic and relevant financial plan because it can reveal to us strategies to mitigate the impacts of inflation.
It seems like people only care about the hot topic issues, right? So, I mean, if interest rates are tough, they're like, hey, how is this affecting me? Now, all of a sudden, inflation has been an issue, but really, we've been talking about inflation for a very, very long time.
Yes, we've always built it into the financial plan.
Right. Remember that inflation's always going to be an issue. So could stagflation or even deflation. So if you feel like inflation is an issue, give us a call today. Let's get your financial plan done. Let's see how it looks in your income plan, and let's see if we can get you a well-rounded second opinion. Thank you so much for watching. And Cynthia, back to you.
Glad you're with us on Retirement Talk. Brad Johansson with Eric Kearney. And we're talking about alignment. So we'll throw myincomeplan.com back up there. You can click on this and go to, what is it, the couples alignment quiz that you have for them inside there? Tell me about it again.
So you go to myincomeplan.com, and then you can go to retirement resources, and then go down to the couples alignment quiz. I'm blown away at how many people download this every week and have a lot of fun with it. So there's a lot of people that have questions about their retirement, and this is actually aligning them and helping them get better, reacquainted, I guess you'd say, with their money.
Okay, we're realigning you today, couples. Here's a couple questions. I'm very concerned about retirement. My spouse just assumes we're going to be okay. Got any experience with this?
Yeah, I got a lot of experience with it, 25 years worth. So we actually do have one couple, and they said, are you going to use us as your story? I'm like, absolutely I am. So look, about 3 years ago, she came in, she was driven there by her husband. And so he literally sat out in the parking lot. Awkward? Yeah. But she's like, she comes in and she's like, I don't know where we are, and I want to know where I am. Like, I'm more than likely going to outlive him. I want to make sure that I can still travel. I want to make sure that I can still have experiences. I don't know where we are. And so what we started to do was we took care of her. And so the second meeting, he actually came in and I said, do you have any questions? He's like, no, I'm going to wait and see what this administration does. Okay. He comes in again. I said, do you have any questions? No. I'm going to see what happens with inflation. Okay. And so this went on and on and on for like a year. And so we took care of her, and he's like, I'm just waiting to see what happens. Okay. I don't know what you're waiting for, right? The difference was at the end of the year, she had all of her processes, all of her monetary things in order, in place, and was actually making money. She all of a sudden knew her financial progression. Finally, he's like, I should have done this a year ago. And so the thing is that he's like, it's overwhelming. I was irresponsible. I didn't do anything about this. She was the one that said, we need to do something about this. So she's like, look, if you pass away, I'm screwed. And so there are a lot of people that will come into the office and say, look, I need to take care of this on my own. I'm going to take over the reins, and I need a financial plan. I need an income plan. I want to make sure that we're not going to be in a taxable situation. So maybe the problem is we need to make financial planning more funner. You know, maybe we need to have an app that's like a dating app, right? You swipe left to go to Croatia, swipe right to go to Portugal, swipe left for lower taxes, and swipe right to get your kid out of the house. I don't know, but more people need to be less overwhelmed about financial planning and realize this is actually a positive thing, not only for you, but also for your marriage.
I think this is a standard question. You use this as an example from the husband. How many people out there, maybe you're one of them, who are saying, I'm waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this administration. I'm waiting for the interest rates to go down. I'm waiting for the housing market to change a little bit. I'm waiting to see what they do at my employers to see what's going. What are we waiting for? If you don't have a what if plan in, then I'm waiting is the worst thing that you can do.
Right. So everybody wants to know about the what ifs. Everybody wants to know about the unknowns. That's the purpose of a financial plan. A future full of unknowns is everyone's reality. That's what we're planning for. We're planning for financial hurdles that come along our way that we never expected. Think about healthcare things that come in our way, financial things that get in our way, the loss of a job, somebody getting sick. There's so many different variables. That's what the financial plan is for.
Yeah.
And I think one of my
The sticks in your craw.
The sticks in my craw. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have in retirement is when somebody says, Eric, I only have one question. I hope to God you don't have just one question. I hope you have a whole bunch of questions that is actually going to funnel down what you actually want your retirement to look like. What we're trying to do through the financial plan is to start helping you visualize what your retirement actually looks like. Now, all of a sudden, when people start to see that, Brad, they're like, oh, I get it. This is based on my retirement, my lifestyle. That's where I want to travel. That's the experience that I want to have with my children. Now I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, people are saying, you know what, retirement comes, my income stops. This is why myIncomePlan.com is up there. You can scan the QR code to be able to go to a wealth of different tools.
Yeah.
You got a big tool belt for all of the things that you may be asking. One of the things that people will ask are, should I be stress testing my retirement? Do I need to plan on being on a fixed income?
Right. So I think you bring up a great point. And when people hear stress test, they think of like an echogram, right?
Yeah.
You got to go get on the treadmill, get all hooked up to your heart. But really, when we stress test something, we can stress test several different variables. Number one, we're going to stress test your financial plan. When you list out all of your goals and objectives and the market is volatile or the market pulls back or you're getting a certain rate of return, if we put stress on your financial plan, we can actually see how that's actually going to work through a difficult market. We can do the same thing with your income. If all of a sudden geopolitical risk is out there and there's market panic, what happens to my income? Do I have to change that? The same thing is with your portfolio. There's going to be volatility. The market's ebbs and flows. It goes all over the place. Am I still able to get the rate of return that I need? So when you stress test this, you're actually going to see how it's going to perform through a difficult market and also a good market. That's what people want. And when you have strong wealth in your family, it's fortified intention. This doesn't happen overnight. This is somebody who has taken a concerted effort and has put in a lot of effort into building all of this, either for their particular life or future generations. And I'd like to talk about John if we had a chance.
Please.
John came from New Jersey, very successful business owner, and really worked very hard at taking care of his family. When he came down to Florida, he came to us and said, Eric, I might be a little bit different. I want to do several different financial plans. I want one done for my wife and I want two done for my daughters. So we did all of that. We put everything into play. We did everything that John wanted to do. And last year, John called me and said, Eric, I'm sick. And so we put together everything, finalized everything, made sure that everything was good. And John ended up passing away. He literally built financial plans, income plans, tax plans for his wife and for his two daughters to eventually trickle down to his granddaughters. The interesting thing was everything flowed to them very easily after he passed away. The one daughter calls me after she gets all her money and she says, Eric, I want this immediately moved into CDs. And I'm like, holy cow, like, okay, why? You have to understand, you have to always respect someone and where their money came from. So when she says that she wants to move it into a CD, I'm like, okay, why do you want to do that? Her answer was, I've never had this much money. My father gave this to me, and I don't want to make any mistakes with it. This, again, gets very emotional because I was very close with John and his wife, and I'm still very close to his wife this day. What we had to do was take his daughter through the whole entire financial planning process and saying, look, this is what your dad wanted for you. He built this money through investing. He wants it to continue, right? This is his transfer of generational wealth to you. Last week, we did a show on women's investing.
Yeah.
And this massive amount of intergenerational wealth that's coming down the pike. And we've got to be prepared for that. So this has been for a while now. She's in the financial planning process. She's through the income planning process, and she understands better how her money works. That's what this is for. And so again, everything that John worked for went exactly where he wanted it. And now it's going to last for more generations going forward.
The idea is, I don't know, I'm scared. put it away, stick it under the mattress. I'm not sure what to do. Look, a lot of us are not sure what to do, which is why Eric's here, which is why we have retirement wealth advisors saying, you're not like anybody else, but you may feel the same way as 100 other people who have come through the door. I just want a plan. MyIncomePlan.com is your income plan. Scan the QR code, and then you say, I'm ready. I'm ready. 1-800-779-1942 to put a plan in place so that maybe you understand that it's different than anyone else's. It's your retirement. Let's just do it once and do it the right way. Be right back.
You know who has one of the toughest retirements? Procrastinators. You keep telling yourself, yeah, I'm going to get to that. But after months turn into years, you realize that time is one investment you can't buy back. The earlier you start, the longer your money works for you. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Call us today for a complimentary review of your finances. 800-779-1942 or visit myIncomePlan.com.
Many investors are concerned about the world's economy. Other investors are concerned about the domestic economy. At Retirement Wealth Advisors, we're only concerned about your economy. If you have questions about your personal economy and your finances, give us a call today. You only retire once. Let's get it right the first time.
Retirement Wealth Advisors with Eric Kearney.
Glad you're with us on Retirement Talk. Brad Johansson with Eric Kearney, and we're kind of talking about a world full of questions. We have it with couples, but I think it goes to individuals as well. A lot of you have been watching for a long time and saying, I'm going to do it. I hope today is the day. I want to hit what used to be standard. Is there anything standard that is actually usable right now? Because 60-40 was the standard for our investments. Yeah. We do 60 in stocks, 40 in bonds.
Yeah.
What should we be doing investment-wise now?
Well, I guess it's like the buy and hold. The buy and hold probably worked about 2 decades ago. Maybe even 60-40 worked back then. Today, there's several things. It's the 2 I's that's going to absolutely cripple a 60-40 portfolio. It's interest rates and inflation. So let's take a look at inflation. You've got regular inflation at 3 to 4%, and now you have healthcare inflation at north of 6%.
Yeah.
So if you have 40% in fixed income, Brad, we know that inflation is going to crush that in no time. You're actually going to safely lose money. I want people to understand how fixed income has been so horrific over the past years and how irresponsible some advisors have been that they are still in bond funds. If you pull up your phone and you go to Yahoo Finance and you take a look at ticker AGG, the Aggregated Bond Index, I want you to take a look at financials and I want you to take a look at the 5-year rate of return. You're going to see where it is still negative 0.5% for the past 5 years. If we factor that into inflation, Brad, at 3% inflation minus negative 0.5% for the past 5 years, that 60-40 portfolio is never going to perform. And it's a huge mistake. So we've got to start evolving our portfolio away from the 60-40 portfolio. My video went out 7 years ago to my clients. Interest rates are 2 trains that are coming together. Boy, I never had any idea that this was going to happen as much as it has. You've got to pay attention to the alpha or the horsepower in your portfolio and make sure that you can puncture through all the volatility that's out there, the market corrections and the pullbacks that are out there, and making sure that you're prepared for a 25 to 30-year runway with income increasing every year due to inflation. This is massive, and this is where the income plan comes in, and this is what we offer for our clients. It's preliminary, it's free, it's complimentary. They need to get it done today.
You said 6% on healthcare. What do I need to be planning for on healthcare? Since we all know as we get older, most of us are heading into something that we don't know what the what if is.
Right. So every year we pay attention to Fidelity. Fidelity does a study every single year based on retired couples. So this is pre-long-term care. And this year they're showing that that average couple is going to spend over $300,000 just for healthcare outside of Medicare. So So then if we get into a long-term care event, that's a completely different pile of money. This is something that we're actually implementing into the financial plan. Remember, this is myincomeplan.com, not everyone's income plan. So we are literally taking this specific client, building out a healthcare plan, and showing them what rate of return you actually need for this to be sustainable and also to provide for longevity.
I said I had a world of questions. I'm probably down to maybe my last one by our time here. Is this a rhetorical question? Should my investment strategy change as I venture deeper into retirement?
Yeah, so everybody thinks, oh, I'm 65. I'm going to turn off everything. One of my other pet peeves is we have to realize that when we get into retirement, growth in our portfolio should not stop. Should it change? Should we get a little more conservative? Well, that depends on you, your income needed, and your lifestyle. There's still some people who still want a higher rate of return because they're going to travel more significantly. Believe me, when we do a personalized plan, there's nothing more personalized than your actual financial plan, your actual income plan, your actual tax plan. If the markets get wonky, and that's what they do, they ebb and flow, they go all over the place. Believe me, when you have a financial plan, you're going to go more to the financial plan and your income plan and saying, Eric told me in the beginning, the markets are going to go up, the markets are going to go down. You need to follow your financial plan, your tax plan, and your income plan. That is going to guide you all through retirement with that rate of return that you're going to receive with that portfolio.
He puts this together for everyone. Grateful that you answered a world full of questions. And guess what? You probably have a world full of questions left over. Maybe this just opened it up for you. You've had an advisor for a long time, never talked about any of this before, which is why myincomeplan.com exists. Scan the QR code on the screen. It takes you to a world of what I said are tools. And maybe you just use the tools that you need at this time. Maybe you're a few years out. Maybe you're already a few years in. And you don't know who to go to. And you're embarrassed. Maybe you just need a second opinion. Myincomeplan.com will take you to that to give you an idea of where you need to go. And then you want to do this. Just do something for yourself. Make a phone call. 800-779-1942. Putting all of this together has been a lifelong work for Eric, and all of the people now at Retirement Wealth Advisors want it to be your income plan. 800-779-1942. Grateful to be able to spend some time with you. Looking forward to having everybody come into the office. See you back here next time on Retirement Talk.
Hey, Southwest Florida, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions after today's show, please give us a call.
Remember, you only retire once. Let's get it right the first time. Have a great week and an even better retirement.